we're the kind of club that we're together. Because if you look at us, there's not many people outside Arsenal fans who like Arsenal Football Club. And that's why we're, as a club and players and everything, we're together. And that's all that matters.
What's good, people? You're here with the Arsenal Bloodline with myself, Julz, and my brother, Elts. Hope everyone's good out there. And this is the red and white aftermath. So we're going to be looking back at the weekend's game, Arsenal versus West Ham. 2-0 victory to the Arsenal. But before we do all that, remember, people, like the video, sub, and all that good stuff. So, bruv, another tremendous weekend for the Arsenal. Things going our way.
Indeed.
I was at the game. So I was at the game, people. It was a good game from our point of view, anyway. I would say one thing though, bruv. The atmosphere wasn't as raucous as it was when I went to the Man City game, and probably when you went to Leeds Forest. It was a bit like an expectant atmosphere. You know, we was expecting to just sit in our seats, get the popcorn out, and win 5-0. That's how it was. It was a bit relaxed. What did you make from watching the highlights from your point of view? And I'll give you my perspective.
Yeah, just quickly. First of all, big up yourself, bruv. The Emirates, the atmosphere thing, that's something that has kind of crept back into conversation in certain corners amongst Arsenal fans. That there isn't because I guess what you sort of hit the nail on the head. I think in terms of using the word expectancy, because I think we're now in a period of expectancy. You know, we've had the years of thrills and spills and surprises, notably the 22-23 season where no one expected that season at all. It came out of nowhere. And that was the most fun season for me at the Emirates. Because the atmosphere was it was fun. Everyone was on the same page. It was an atmosphere every single game. It was raucous every game. That was the year, for those who can't remember the season, that was the season where Reece Nelson scored that had that moment against Bournemouth. That season where it was just fun every week. Every week was fun and it was jovial but because the team has got as good as it's got, that's what happens. The expectancy goes up.
Expectation levels.
And then it almost becomes less about the entertainment. And I spoke about this in recent videos about what happened to being entertained. What happened to, the joy of going to games. It's almost been sucked out because there's more of almost like a corporate focus into games now where it's like, no, we got to win.
Yeah.
It's a must win. We spoke about the pressure of the Premier League and sometimes it's not fun anymore because it's so much pressure. I spoke about the Newcastle game as being a must win, the West Ham game being a must win. So I'm as guilty as anyone else. But it's the desperateness of wanting to win that's crept into the psyche of the fans, where it's now almost the joy has been taken away because we just want to win. So we're so desperate to win. And
that's it. Keyword desperate.
I think we're so desperate for this league title that the kind of the free flowing and the kind of free spirited nature of the fans has almost gone out the window to a degree. And I think that's probably what it comes down to. When you get the big games, it will still be there because by virtue of it being a massive game.
Yeah, it's big and it's like I hear what you're saying. I'm hearing fans, bro. I'm hearing fans speaking like we just won the game. They're not happy. They want 3 or 4 or 5 goals. I'm like, bro, just win the bloody game. If you're playing in a cup final and you win 1-0, you're happy because you've won something, but you can't expect more and more and more. I know it's not a cup final, but we've won the game. That's it.
Yeah, you're right. This is the conundrum that I just spoke about, and this is because I'm torn between it because I've said it over the last few weeks. I want to be entertained. I want to be. You go to you pay big money to go to these games, and I go quite often, and it's a lot of money. It's hard-earned money. So I want to be entertained for that money. But then at the same time, when you win, you think, well, we did win. But I wasn't entertained necessarily. I'm just happy that we won because I love the club and we won. But I wasn't necessarily entertained. So those fans that moan about the expansiveness or lack of the football, I get where they're coming from. But then the fans that say, but we won the game, what are you moaning about? I get, so I'm kind of torn. I am torn. I get both points of the argument, bro, to be honest. But one thing's for certain is the atmosphere isn't quite what it was. That's true.
Like you said, we want to win so desperately. You can't create the atmosphere because you're watching the game. You're so intent on getting this result. You're forgetting about, we're supposed to be part of the entertainment as well. We're part of it.
Also on that, it is down to the players and Arteta to kind of get us off our feet, though. You know, get us on our feet and get off our seats. It is down to the players to do that as well, because a lot of the times last season. So we kind of steered away from the game a bit, but don't worry, we're going to bring it back, guys. We're going to bring it back. But, you know, last season and the season before that, there was a lot of this from the players. There was a lot of that to the fans. And that would wind some of the fans up, including myself, because I'm thinking, hold on a minute. No, you're the players. You get us off our seats and give us something to cheer. You can't be passing sideways and backwards and expect us to get raucous over that. You need to start. If you attack, then we'll respond to you. But you can't. We can't respond to nothing. I don't know. It's an interesting one, guys. Let us know your thoughts. You know, is it down to the players to create the atmosphere, or is it down to the fans? How do you guys see it? Let us know in the comment section below, I guess. But as for the game itself, I wasn't able to watch the game. Quite frustratingly yesterday. So I got very little input in terms of this review, bruv. So really, it's going to be about me asking you the questions. But from what I saw, the highlights. Eze looked sprightly, and Odegaard before he went down again, he looked like he was having a good game. Saka looked like he had a good game as well, and West Ham looked like they came to lie down and hope for the best. Is that how it was? West Ham,
bro, that's exactly how it was. I mean, apart from, like I said, the start, the kickoff, I think it was their kickoff, so they just one long ball, and for some reason someone misread it at the back. I think it would have been Gabriel. And they got a corner. He recovered and it went out for a corner. And then that was it. That was it for that half for them. And then they had it at the end of the second half, like right at the end. They had
literally the last moment of the game, wasn't it?
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
The game was dead. And they had a couple, and we got a bit, like, not saying lazy, but I guess people are tired as well. Went out for a corner again. They had two corners. Yeah, light work. There was no problems there. And that was it, bro. They just came. I don't know. Obviously, a new manager. He's setting up. He's finding out who his players are. But even the better players weren't really on it. I said Somerville looked their most threatening player, but what can one man do on his own? You know what I mean? So yeah, but for our point of view, straight at the traps again, putting pressure on them, created chances, half chances, as they should have scored. You know,
big chance.
Yeah, similar chance to Rice. Rice took his one well. I don't know if he snatched at it, but then there was one. Calafiore, we'll talk about him. Brilliant game he had.
Yeah,
hit the post. Yeah, Calafiore, bro. I'm telling.
His weaker foot as well, wasn't it? His right foot hit the post.
Yeah, his weaker foot. And Calafiore, right? This is how bad West Ham were. He just went in midfield, bro. Basically, he was in midfield. That's why he had that shot. Because I was looking at the formation, I could see Gabriel was like, it was like we had three at the back. It was so weird. I was like, what's going on there? Calafiore is just doing what? No, he was just in the midfield, bro. He was not at left back at all. But first half, he was in midfield. So we was just wrapping them up in knots. The passing was good. It was intricate, little 5-yard short passings. People getting in behind. Saka got in behind. Timber, he was the man of the match. I know they're going to give it to Rice.
Oh, really?
No. He was the man of the match. Again, he was the man of the match. He was my man of the match. Again, this man is monstrous. We're all talking amongst ourselves, like going, oh, Tim. Everyone's drooling over this guy. Everyone's drooling. Back to me. Raya, he's underrated, bro. This guy, his sweeping is brilliant. He had
a new uniform on, didn't he? I didn't see that kit before. He had a new purple kit on, didn't he?
Whatever it was.
What's that? I ain't seen that one before. So, the goal that Declan went on to score was pretty much the same chance.
It's the same. It was a carbon copy in the same pace.
Yeah. In fact, Declan's was harder because he was a little bit further out.
Yeah, it was harder. You know what I mean? And he just took control, just breathe, you know?
Well, kid, in amongst all of that excitement and good news that we played well, passed the ball around well, once again, and again in the first half, so we don't even get into the second half, but once again, for the 6th game out of 7 league games that we played so far, a player goes down and then subsequently comes off injured. And this is now the 3rd time, and it's our captain, Martin Odegaard. We now understand that they've described it as a collateral ligament damage, whatever the hell that means. I think you explained that. That looks like between 1 month and 2 months out, maybe at the max is 2 months.
Yeah.
Just what, you know what I mean? Like,
so hopefully it's more of an impact and not a twist. And he doesn't need surgery. As long as it doesn't need surgery, he'll probably be out for like 4 to 6 weeks. But
yeah, but even that though, bro. I mean, even that is just.
And that's a long. It's a long time. And as he was finding his form and he was looking good again, but this is why you have a squad. This is why you build a squad that is big enough to deal with these situations. And so I'm not panicking. You're not panicking, I know. But it's just sad that it's him again.
Yeah, you know what it is, bro. It's yeah, you're right. It's not about the panicking, but I'm disappointed. And I know what you're saying about the squad building, and you build a squad as big as what we've built so that to deal with injuries. But you also build a squad like we have, so that you have the options together.
Yeah,
so that you have Eze and Odegaard together, and it makes us even more dangerous when we're playing in these games. That we can, you know what I mean? Now we're missing our captain again now for about 2 months. We're missing Noni Madueke for another 2 months. We're missing Kai Havertz for probably the best part of 2 months. God knows when Jesus is coming back. And it's just like, yes, I understand that the squad is big so that it can cover injuries, but you also want the squad together so that you can make those impacts. Like when we brought on Odegaard at St. James's Park, you saw what he did. Yeah, we went up another level.
Instant impact, yeah.
Now we don't have that. And it's just like, oh, man, it's just so disappointing. And, you know, for all my criticisms of the manager in the last sort of 12 to 18 months, he has been very unlucky with injuries. He must be pulling his hair out. Interested. But, yeah, well done with the Arsenal. Good win. Top of the league going into the national break. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more than that.
That's exactly what we wanted, man.
Yeah, I think that when you look at the run that we had at the start of the season, I had a little bit of fear. You know, Old Trafford, Anfield, St. James's Park as your first 3 away games, plus Man City at home within the space of the first 5 games of the season, 6 games, whatever. You know, I think to navigate our way through that and to get to the second international break and we're top of the league, I think, yeah, kudos to everyone involved, including the manager. And I think we've navigated ourselves very well now. We got through the first game of a run of games where you'd think we're expected to win the games. And yeah, when we come back, we got Fulham away. I think Fulham away, then Palace at home, Burnley away, Sunderland away. So those are, I mean, you're looking at a probable 12 points there. You know, as long as we play our game and turn up. You know, what would you expect from those 4 games?
Yeah, you know what? From those 4 games, I would expect the 12 points. The way we're playing,
right? Yeah,
and as long as there's no more injuries, I definitely expect the 12 points, 100%. No disrespect to those teams. Palace just come off a defeat today, so that their run's over. So
is that their first defeat of the season?
Yeah. So you know they've got to get back on the wagon again. So tricky games. Fulham away is not the best of games for us. We seem to kind of want to throw that game away for some weird reason. But this time, I think the focus will be there. And we've got a job to do. So let's just get that job done. You know, we're at home to Palace. So, again, it'll be hard. And last year, we threw that one away. But this time, we got your man.
I just wanted to talk to you. It was one player that you haven't mentioned, but I was determined to mention him to you. His name is Viktor Gyökeres. How did he perform yesterday? Because I've heard sort of contrasting views.
Okay, so his performance it wasn't as good as it was at Newcastle. He seems to find himself getting embroiled in these battles with these centre backs, and they're purposely roughing him up. You can see the tactic is rough him up, right? Because back into him and mash into him. The ball's in the air, they're banging into him. The referees, they give him some and don't give him the others, but. What the problem is, he's again, you've seen it, bro. The runs he makes some, but the ball, it's like Rice. It's like they see him make the run, and then no, I turn away because I'm not. It's like they're not confident in playing the ball. Just play the ball. If you give it away, it doesn't matter. Just play it. Just do something because you never know. A couple of times they did play the ball, and he's after it, but then he's touched, bro. It's very clunky, like that clunkiness, and it's just not that. It's not high levels. It's not high level touch. Which is very disappointing. He hasn't got that good touch, man. Like Martinelli, all the other guys, Jesus, they got miles. Like Havertz miles better. Miles better touch. You play them. You play them balls, right? Well, we saw it. You see the goal that Havertz scored in pre-season. Gyökeres probably wouldn't score that goal because his touch would have probably let him down somewhere along that movement. But his work rate is very good. He's battling for the team, but I don't really see the team kind of making him score goals. Like they don't have that thing where it's like they're just milling around. It's like, yeah, don't worry, mate, you'll be all right. I don't see anyone going, come on. I want to see them. That's what you're supposed to do. G him up a little bit, give him something, and force that goal. Force them to score but
there was an opportunity for the team to do that, but Saka said, "Nah, mate, sorry, I'm Saka."
Nah, Saka. Yeah. And yeah, it was on
we
his,
finally answered the question, didn't it, bro? We finally got our answer.
Well, I could, and
Who
also,
takes the penalties?
I remember as Saka had the ball, Victor goes up to him, he has a little word, and then Saka was like, "Nope, that's it. That was it." Like
Bukayo.
Like,
Yeah, Bukayo.
No,
Yeah.
200 appearance for Saka, 100 goal involvements now. So that is wow. That's just unbelievable. 24 years old, and he's already got that. That's crazy.
Assists, 55 goals.
Tremendous. That is crazy. That is just mad numbers there, boy. But yeah, I still feel that it will come for Victor. So I'm not worried yet. I'm not panicking.
You know what? Okay, I agree with you. I do think he will score goals. I think he'll get between 15 and 20 league goals. He's just not my kind of striker. I think, he's just not my kind of guy. And he's not that dynamic striker. He's not who I thought he was so far, from what I've seen. And hopefully, this is just his version of the Bergkamp 7 games and the Henry slow start. Hopefully, this is his version, and then but me, I'll be eating humble pie come February, March when he's got 25 league goals. But just at the moment, I'm a little bit underwhelmed from what I've seen from him in the opening 7 games. That's about as much as I'll say, I think.
So we're moving on now, guys, to the MVP of the week and the donut of the week, which I have no idea which it is. So this is going to be interesting, man. Bro, because I don't know. I ain't got a clue.
All right. So MVP of the week. I do love these, man. I do love these. So MVP of the week can only be one person for me. It's the guy who made his 200 appearance for Arsenal. And got his 55th goal. That's Bukayo, Starboy, Saka. What can we say, man? What a roller coaster it's been in the last sort of 5-6 years, 7 years maybe.
7 years, man.
Top quality player. He's Mr. Arsenal. We all love him to bits, and it's just fitting that he managed to score. I think he scored just before he scored, but he was about a yard or so offside. It was a good finish though, and he took his penalty really, really well. And Victor was trying to apply pressure, but he had no chance of getting that ball off the Bukayo.
Not a chance.
Yeah, it's a milestone day, 200th appearance, 100th goal contribution for the club. So for me, the MVP this weekend, it had to be Bukayo Saka. Big up Bukayo. As for the donut of the week, this might be a bit harsh. This might be a bit harsh, but I'm sorry. No, I'm giving it to him. I'm giving this to Nuno Espirito Santo.
I don't know why now, yeah,
and I'm sorry. Look, we've had many teams come to the Emirates and do what West Ham did. It's nothing new to us. We're used to it. It's been going on now for about 15, 20 years now. We've been watching this. These teams that can't come and play us, come to our ground. They do this low block, and I understand it to an extent. And I always feel it's me and you have often debated about it, and I've said, look, it's on the impetus is on the home team to try and break that down. However, West Ham had no shots on target. And by all accounts, they had no ambition in the game, bro. That's right.
No,
they had no ambition.
There was no ambition. Their striker, bro. What was the point of him? And then you know what? They had Callum Wilson on the bench. They brought on a youngster instead of Callum Wilson. So I don't know if there's something going on there with Callum Wilson and him. But yeah, they didn't. I was like, oh yeah. And
I can't respect that.
It was weird. It was very strange.
I know West Ham are down in the dungeons, right? And they're down at the bottom. But you've come to the Emirates to do that. You've lost anyway. So you may as well have attacked and lost. But you've stepped back, not even tried to attack, not even had a shot on target, and you've still lost anyway. So why not just at least come? And by the way, those teams that do low block us, that are not West Ham, i.e. Leeds, earlier in the season, yes, we piped them 5-0, I know, but they tested Raya. Forest tested Raya.
Yeah.
West Ham did nothing. At least those teams, they lost, but at least they tried to score.
They tried. They actually tried. They had their low block. I don't mind a low block, but you've got a plan behind it. There was no plan.
Exactly. And by all accounts, and by your account, they didn't even have any type of plan. They just came to lie down. And I don't respect that.
I don't know. I didn't get it, bro. I'm watching it, and people are saying that the game is boring. It wasn't boring from our point of view. They kind of did nothing, and we had to kind of play around them and get around the sides and get through here. You couldn't really. What they wanted us to do was go through the middle, which we did a few times, but we got around the sides of them so easy, especially in the first half. It was just ridiculous. It was too easy, but we should have scored more goals. We should have, but we didn't. But
And just for the record, bro, you know who was a close second?
Oh, go on, yeah.
West Ham fans, because you're still booing Declan Rice. You're booing Declan Rice. Why? This is your maverick captain that won you your first trophy in 40 years or whatever it was, and you're booing him. Why are you booing him for? Anyway, he had the last laugh. Ha ha. In your face. And it's not the first time he scored against West Ham. He scored against West Ham last year. It was a streamer. Was it last year or season before that?
Season before that, yeah.
Season before that, wasn't it?
It's first season,
yeah. Anyway, that's that. That's rant over, bruv.
But you know what? I like that. I like those ones. Yeah, brilliant this week, bro. I wouldn't even have thought of that. You know?
Yeah.
And the fans were close.
Yeah, the fans, man.
That was brilliant.
Get over it. He plays for Arsenal now. Get over it, man. Jeez, bloody hell. We gave you 105 million for him. What more do you want? Damn. The thing is, though, bro, look, he won them a trophy and got them 105 million, and they're booing him.
Yeah, it's fans, isn't it? That's how they are. They don't see it that way. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching again. We've been the Arsenal Bloodline, Julz and Elts. Remember, like the video, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you in the next video.